community, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928 284 2022.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't hear any music.
I didn't hear any music either.
Sorry, I'm having some issues.
All right, was it you ready? And I just put my headset on.
Radio.
There's nothing there.
Who needs a radio?
The hangout just went crazy.
You ready, JD?
Yeah, we're good. You're listening to JD's Rockin' Sports on this Tuesday night. We're arguing. I love it. And, actually turning into some pretty good discussions. And no cursing. I noticed that. Nobody's dropped an F-bomb or anything like that just yet. And nobody's turned on his mic. So you still haven't turned on his mic. Will you stop? Because I'm pretty sure they can still hear you over the mics. Stop talking unless you're going to talk into the mic. Speaking to the mic.
Sorry, I'm fixing the hangout.
All right. So the question is, do you have to have a ring, a Super Bowl ring, to be a Hall of Fame coach?
Unfortunately, I think that's what they judge things on. But as we're looking down the list, we can clearly see that there's some coaches that have been successful that just never got to the dance.
That should be on there.
Well, because it's the same thing. How many times you talked about any of the athletes like LeBron before he won his ring when they're always talking about him and Michael. Before LeBron won his ring, it was like, well, Michael's got, 5 or 6, and LeBron's got none. Yeah, you're great during the season, but you can't take your teams to the dance. So, unfortunately, I think we always somehow gauge a player or a coach's worth based on what kind of jewelry they're winning. You know,
Mike Shanahan has a ring. Yeah, he did. He won it with
2.
Denver.
Like Dan Reeves is number 5 on the list. I'm looking at Dan Reeves. I mean, yeah, Jeff Fisher's here at number 4.
So you have to have a ring to get in.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer.
You know, I mean,
Wisenhunt. No.
No.
Yeah, I was just throwing that out there.
Have you seen what he's done in Tennessee?
No, I don't really care. I just threw that name out there to get it. No.
Is anybody else like rooting against Mettenberger?
no, just
Just for
Manziel.
being a clown?
No, man. You know what?
He doesn't have a lot to work with over there.
He got what he deserved from Watt already, but I enjoyed it.
I mean, it's his moment. You know, he's probably not going to get another one. He knows he's not going to get another one as soon as people get healthy. They're probably going to draft another quarterback in the draft next year anyway. So you know what? Go ahead and enjoy your time there, little man with a weird mustache. Go ahead. So, what were we talking about before? Well, before the break, we had touched on whether or not Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, and Sammy Boy there are going to be able to get back into the NFL.
No, we were going to ask Joel if Jeff Fisher's a Hall of Fame coach.
Joel. So
Because
yeah,
we already answered on Saturday, so.
Jeff Fisher, Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, I would say so.
You guys are all just give it away. Just Hall of Very Good for you guys. Anyone can walk in.
Well, let's look at his career stats. Let's drag that up. Go ahead and bring that up. Let's see where we're at. Jeff Fisher's record statistics, yada, yada, yada. Did you know that was his Andy Reid? I just realized this. I heard it on the
He's going to be in that Hall of Very Good,
he
too.
was a kicker.
Yeah, they showed that.
Glendale Community College.
They showed that. You saw that footage they were showing?
Yeah.
There? No, granted, he was about 300 pounds. I mean, TV does add a couple 100 pounds, but I mean, it was like almost like in vintage black and white.
I thought that was awesome, man.
Toe punting it.
GCC. They mentioned Glendale Community College.
They actually have a pretty good powerhouse junior college program. They get a lot of JUCO transfers out of there.
The guy's been a coach since 1994. He's 162 and 144 and one tie. He's played in 11 playoff games. He's won 5 of them. And that's about it. But he's coached in over 300 games. Come on now. Games over 500, 18. Division championships, 3. Conference championships, 1. So
So
he
he's
did,
only been to one Super Bowl.
but they only lost it by 1 yard.
Are you talking about Fisher or Andy Reid?
Fisher.
Oh, okay.
So he only lost it by 1 yard. I mean, come on, give the guy some
Market a loss.
opportunities.
Market
here.
8, dude.
But you
Next
gotta think though. He's got an above average ranking,
Barely.
but he's been on the Houston
He's
Oilers,
a very
the
good
Tennessee Oilers, the Tennessee Titans, and the St. Louis Rams. So he did all that. He's got a winning record with those teams. Those teams are
coach.
horrible.
Those Titans teams were very good with Chris Johnson.
What?
You remember those when he had 2,000 yards?
I remember him having a good season. I remember the team not making the playoffs.
The ones with Steve McNair, they were pretty good.
No, they weren't. Oh, they weren't. Let's look at it. Well, yeah, okay. Tennessee Titans 10-6, 13-3.
That's the one that went to the Super Bowl.
That was in 2006, 2007.
Now they're awful.
Yep. So
Real quick, while you're looking at that, I wanted to say the Raiders shot themselves in the foot because when they won, they went from number 1 overall pick to number 5.
I don't know. But he's been coaching in the league for 20 years.
Exactly. He'll probably still coach for 20 more, so it's not like he has to win right now.
That he's got the resume that says I'm good enough to go to the Hall of Fame.
No.
20 years as a head coach in
a
a
lot of
day
years.
where coaches don't even make it through a full season before
He
they're
got
fired.
he got a lot of time in Tennessee though when he got a really long leash there.
He had like 14 years under his belt there.
Yeah, it was a long time when he had a lot of losing seasons at the end.
Um,
Just like Marvin Lewis, he's been in Cincinnati for 20 years or whatever it is, and they're not very good. I mean, look at all his time there before the last 4 years. They weren't very good, but
he
he's
had
cheap.
6 losing seasons in 17 years. Okay. Other than the New England Patriots, give me another team that doesn't do that.
That's very good.
That is very
It's not
good. That's
Hall of Fame
11.
worthy.
But that's 11. But that's with one team. I'm not counting the. Well, actually, I'm counting the Rams in that.
Yeah, which
I
are going to
mean-
be another.
But still, I mean, his record hasn't been terrible with the Rams. 7-8, 7-9, 6-7.
They might come in third in the West.
It's not like they're.
I don't think the Niners might be in last.
Joel.
By the way, can I
Me too.
change my call from Saturday when I said the Niners are going to make the playoffs and say the Lions will now?
Wow.
I'd like to retract that and
Sorry,
change
Ivan,
it.
we can't do that.
No, I don't think we can do that. No, I mean,
Hey, I'm owning up that I was wrong on the Niners.
but
after
you
watching-
no, you're not owning it because you're giving it away. So you can't give it away. You need to hang with that. You can't say Detroit now. All right. If I gotta own it, you gotta own it because I said 3 teams from the West, which 2 teams will make it. But I said 3 teams from the West will make it.
I mean, the Rams might have a shot still, an outside chance. They'd have to win out.
But if they did, Fisher still wouldn't be good enough.
No, if they got to the Super Bowl and won it,
Oh, come on. Give the guy a break. He's won 53% of his games over a 20-year span. 21 years. Come on.
very good.
Come on.
They have the Hall of Very Good right next door. He can go in there with Andy Reid and hang out.
Oh, my
And they can talk
goodness.
about how close they were.
Wow,
And Donovan
it's
McNabb
horrible.
throwing
You
up.
know what? Let's talk a little bit of baseball. What's going on in the baseball world?
This is
I'm
kind
going
of
to let you 2 take that away.
well, I'm sure Joe would agree. This is kind of the
Hot
the,
stove.
the fun
Hot stove.
aspect of when baseball's over because there's going to always be a lot of movements, a lot of discussions and rumors.
Yeah, especially this week is the winter meetings. A lot of free agents sign, a lot of trades go down because you have all GMs and all agents basically in one hotel together.
Yeah. Now, Aaron and I were texting about this while I was working.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously we'll be covering, the D-backs, and they've been making some moves, and they just they send Miggy over to Chicago, and yeah, they did lose Bollinger to the Dodgers with, but I think what Aaron and I were surprised with, and I kind of want to get your input on this, the fact that they didn't get anybody for Montero, and how important it is to have that veteran catcher mentality for for the pitching staff and everything.
Right.
So I'm not
Right.
sure. I'm not sure what you feel about that trade, but I don't think that was a good one.
No, I don't either. I think though that what they're going to do is that they may go for cheaper options now. I mean, like Giovanni Soto,
Mhm.
for example, or Deontay Navarro. Guys that are equally as good defensively, but maybe not quite as good as offensively. Because when it comes time for arbitration, that's really one thing that they look at is their offensive numbers. So,
well, looking at what they're working with right now, it's not very good in defensively.
right.
Their outfield.
Well, and I wasn't happy last year when midseason when they traded Para.
No,
Yeah, me
And so
neither.
you lose Para. Now again, they've got I think it's Tomas is how they pronounce his name, but that's the
Yes,
Cuban
Cubano.
version.
Tomon.
Yeah,
That dude's going to be a stud.
Now, do you
I
think-
really do. I really think that this guy, he may start the year in the minors, but I think he's going to be able to big club by July. The dude, he's like Puig, but better.
yeah. No,
Really.
that's
I
basically
mean,
how
he's a true 5-tool player. I mean, you got speed, you got average, you got a lot of power.
these Cubano guys worry me though, because the last couple, Puig and Cespedes, have come up and they've thought they were hot crap,
for a season.
and they want big money, and they're not doing very well. So I'm concerned in the long term that he might come up and come out of the gate really hot, but then he's going to think he's hot ass and basically turn it into a Puig and a Cespedes that, although I think Puig is going to be a really good long-term MLB player, I just worry about the attitude.
I really think that this is why Chip Hale was a good signing, because I think Chip Hale will keep that attitude in check. I really don't think that Mattingly has that much of a sway on how his players
You
act.
mean Gibson?
Well, no,
No.
Gibson. I mean,
Gibson was fired.
was fired.
Right, but you said Mattingly.
Yeah, and talking
No,
about
I was talking about
like Puig.
Yeah,
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and I've agreed with you, and I've talked about how I don't think Manley, has a grip on the team.
and plus
Um,
you got front office leaders as well. With La Russa takes no nonsense from anybody.
He never.
No.
That's not his vocabulary.
Yeah, I mean, if he thought that this Tomas guy would have been like Puig and would have acted like him, then they
Probably
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have
signed
taken a
him.
chance.
They wouldn't have signed him.
Well, Aaron, to comment on you, and I'm sure Joel, you and I have both seen this. When you've never seen somebody and you haven't pitched against them, you don't know how to pitch them. It's going to take you about
Right.
at least half a season to know. Like for Puig, you throw a deuce in the dirt with 2 strikes on him, he's going to fish. Now he's done a little better line off of it, but pitchers all of a sudden know that you're not going to be able to sneak this by him or put that by him. So
Breaking ball away gets Puig almost.
So
every
hopefully we
time.
don't see that with Tomas.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably come up like the world on fire. Pitchers will wise up, and he's going to go through a big slump. Then it's one of those where you got to be patient with him, because I mean, he is still pretty young.
Mhm.
I was reading who the Diamondbacks got from Chicago. One guy, this Jefferson, it's spelled like Jefferson,
Mhm.
Jefferson Mejia. He is
Is he the
supposed
one
to be
that's
pretty good.
6'7"?
He's 6'7". He's been adding weight to increase his fastball velocity. Baseball America has him ranked him at 17th among Cubs prospects, but is still in A ball. So, and he's only 20 too. So, well, not even A. He's below A. He's at rookie ball. So it looks like what they're doing is that they're building for the future, but not the immediate future where this guy is not going to be up with the big club next year. But you're looking at, a couple of years down the road, you might get some good value for Montero.
What is your thought? What's going on over in with the White Sox? They went up for some pitching. They did get Samardzija, and they also got the closer from the Yankees. Is it Johnson? I think
David Robertson.
Robertson. But we saw Samardzija make a move, head over to Oakland for one season, and did fairly well towards the second half, but now get moved over again.
Yep.
Now, kind of with pitching, John Lester has been getting a lot of talk all week.
Yeah.
I had sent you the quick text that how basically he told the Giants that they didn't send me a rose.
Yeah.
That's basically what he said.
Yep.
So the Giants had a chance. I mean, adding him with Bumgarner, definitely, lefties are very nice to have in your rotation.
Yeah.
But Where do you think he's going to land? There is talks about him going back to Boston.
Yep.
Yeah, Ortiz is pushing that with management.
Yeah, Ortiz wants him. To tell you the truth, I think, I think it all depends on where the money is. But I really think he's probably going to head back to Boston. I just think he is, that type of player.
Mm-hmm.
Where he will go back to what he's more used to. I mean, he seems like a guy that's more, a little bit more down to earth. A little bit, where he wants to feel comfortable. At least that's what everything that I've been reading is somewhere where he wants to feel comfortable. No matter where he goes, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the ace. It's not like he's going to fall down into anywhere but the limelight, I think, is more on him in Chicago than it is on Boston, because with Boston, they have so many good players where they could focus, if they're losing, they could focus the blame on someone else. Whereas in Chicago, it's all on Lester.
And I don't think he wants to go to be a number 3 in any lineup.
Right.
Another the rumors right now that Aaron and I were going back and forth on this the last couple of days is what's going on in LA with possible talks of Ethier, and as well as Kemp. Now, Kemp has been targeted by the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
He's been looked at by the Rangers. He's been looked at by quite a few other programs.
Yeah, he's been looked at by Baltimore, Seattle, who desperately needs him, but now they're saying that they're out of the running for him, which really sounds like there's only one team left right now. That's San Diego.
Well, I think the smart play is for them to keep Kemp. I think you're better to move Ethier and Crawford.
Right, but here's the deal with that. The GMs are going to look at the money that they're making, and if they're going to get that type of production for that money.
Well, but
with Ethier, you're not. You're not getting that production.
This is the thing.
Right.
You're going to have
Crawford,
to eat it.
With Crawford, you are guaranteed for at least 8, well, maybe not at least, but at most 80 games, because he's going to get hurt. So they're stuck really with Crawford and with Ethier.
But I think for them, the Dodgers, the better move is to move those guys and eat the salary, because they're basically stifling their youth.
Right.
You're hurting Peters. His name's Peterson,
John
right?
Peterson.
Yep.
They're one of their outfielders. Now, the rumor is that there was a deal to get Ethier here and have the Dodgers eat some of the salary. I think it's a good move. Ethier doesn't really hit one side of the plate well, but he is an Arizona guy. He's from here. He will represent the team well, which, as we were talking on Saturday, in my opinion, you're going to throw a minor league team out there anyway. So you at least need somebody to try and draw fans there at some point. And they're trying to move Trumbo, which I think is a terrible idea.
Well, I mean, I actually think the Diamondbacks are going to have a good lineup next year with Tomas, with Goldschmidt. If they keep, if they keep on to Trumbo, I think they're going to have a pretty solid lineup this year. I think they're going to be sneaky good. Kind of going back to, talking about with Ethier and with Crawford and everything, you can't expect also a big haul for them. Most teams, what they're thinking is with the money that they have, they want a haul for them of, top tier prospects. You're not going to get that from anybody, from any of them. You're going to get, if they want to go ahead and eat the contract, then you're going to get a mid-level prospect, and.
Well, it's not like the Dodgers are hurting for money.
Right. But they also not stupid, and they want to get at least some sort of value from Ethier and some sort of value for Crawford as well. It's not like they can just unload them on some guys and say, hey,
I think Tampa would take Crawford if you gave him an A prospect and paid 95% of that salary.
But Tampa Bay is not going to get rid of that because they're reloading.
Right. But if you can get a major league player for cheap, why wouldn't they take that deal? So,
yeah, I think it'd be more of a backup player. I think, the Cardinals would definitely give him backup shortstop Pete Kozma for Carl Crawford, but that's probably about it. I mean, you're looking at bench players for right now for these guys because they just haven't produced consistently over or stayed healthy throughout an entire season.
Well,
and people, they're not going to give up, an everyday starter for mediocre starts from Ethier or just a really streaky
streaky bat versus someone that even can't even stay on the field anymore.
Right, but that's in the case of the Dodgers, I think they're hurting themselves by holding on to them because they do have a lot of young talent.
Yeah, but I mean, they're also the only way really I think where they're going to get rid of it is that they're going to have to cut them. They may have to actually flat out release them because you're not going to get the haul that you expect from Ethier or from Crawford versus what you would Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp's going to command a lot of because he is that good. He has shown flashes of when he was healthy at the end of last year, he was on fire.
That's exactly what I was just going to mention.
That's what looks like the Padres, they're looking at giving up Yasmani Grandal, an offensive catcher who is a stud, and then also 2 top-level pitching prospects as well from San Diego, if that deal were to come through. Kemp's worth that, Kemp's, and maybe even another prospect on top of that. Kemp's worth that, I think.
I've got a bad feeling that they will let Kemp go. I really have a bad feeling.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the one to go more so than.
And I think that hurts the Dodgers a lot better than to just eat the money or cut those guys outright.
Right.
Well, especially if it were to go true, and if it does end up with the Padres, that's division right there, and that's it's like don't give the teams that you need to beat any tools.
You're going to have to play them 18. You're going to have to play them 18 times a year. So
yeah,
and then
that's why Luis Gonzalez went to the Dodgers when the Diamondbacks let him go. Because he wanted to play him 18 times a year.
Yep.
Now, Joel, the one trade we were talking about on Saturday was possibly, and we're doing a lot of Dodgers, is Ethier to the Pirates for Alvarez and eating some of that contract. They do need a third baseman.
Because with Uribe, he did well last year, but he is getting older.
But the Pirates are also in the same spot as the Dodgers, whereas they got a logjam out there in left field or in the outfield. They have Gregor Polanco, who's a stud. They have Sterling Marte. They have Andrew McCutchen. They have
they have like one of the fastest.
Yeah,
even up with the Royals. They have a very quick.
And Marte and Polanco are still locked up for another 5 years or so, and then they locked up McCutchen there. So, you got a lot of speed out there. You got one of the youngest outfields in the game right now. I just don't see a need for Ethier on there. On that team.
Now the Dodgers did say D. Gordon is available today too.
I saw that today.
Which
that's the Dodgers. Like when someone gets good and they're young enough like that, they feel like they can just use that 1 or 2 years that are up and coming and use that as moving luggage. But I don't think it's a good idea. Darwin Barney, who they do still have.
But doesn't D. Gordon playing second?
Yes, and that's where you need to have Barwin playing. But since Hanley's gone, my guess is Barwin's going to be going over to short.
They have another guy in the minors too, don't they?
Auburn, it's like Auburn Cinca or Auburn Asensio or something like that.
I think he's another Cuban or.
He's good with the glove. He is not a threat with the bat. And actually, if you look at it, most of the Dodgers backups when Hanley was out are in there, like Rojas, are in there for their glove, not the lumber. And when you lose that type of production from your shortstop, because Hanley does not help you with the glove, he helps you with the bat. So they're going to need to fill.
Well, AJ Ellis helps you with the pitching staff, not with the bat. So
no, absolutely.
And you also can't have those two together. Then you have 2 holes in your lineup, and it hurts that bottom of the lineup because that's where they're at. They have 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9, and the pitcher's batting 9. So there's 3 spots right there where you can just pitch around.
And
5, 6.
Joel, real quick before we go to break, James Shields, where does he end up?
I think James Shields is going to go to Toronto.
That was a spot that I had heard that they had the room for him in terms of money though, and probably no more than like a 3-year deal.
Yeah, but the White Sox right now they're winning the offseason. They've had a nice haul so far. Oakland got a good return for Samardzija, really good return. So Oakland could be sneaky good with all these players that they've dealt. So I'd be on the lookout for them too. But right now it's all about the White Sox so far. It's going to be a good division now with the Tigers. The money there, but then you got the young teams now like Kansas City and then now the White Sox. So
yeah,
you got that's going to be fun. But yeah, White Sox, they're looking really good right now.
Well, they definitely need that because it's been a while since we've actually said that.
Yeah.
But Aaron, how much time do we have? We're going to go to break right now? Cool. Well, then we'll be back after these short words.
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Are you or someone you know looking for a new job or career? The Vets on Media family would like to invite you to the National Career Fair in Phoenix on November 17th from 11 until 2 p.m. This free job fair will be held at the Phoenix Airport Marriott Hotel, located at 1101 North 44th Street, Phoenix. This is your chance to meet some of the top employers in the Phoenix area face-to-face. Get ready to jumpstart your new career at the National Career Fair in Phoenix, November 17th from 11 until 2 p.m. at the Phoenix Marriott Hotel, 1101 North 44th Street, Phoenix. For more information, visit ncfairs.com/Phoenix. Again, that's ncfairs.com/Phoenix.
Breaker 19. How about that bandit you got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in your life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strongly about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
I had a job, I had a girl, had something gone, mister, in this world. I got laid off.
And you're listening to JD's Rockin' Sports. Good job, Brent.
Oh, what happened?
He's
Wow.
He's a little bit behind, man.
Professional
He's a
show.
little bit behind. He is, because we just talked about having you bring us back, and
We are back with
J.
JD's Rockin' Sports. Everyone, thank you for joining us. Wow.
Wow.
And
There's
Never
your
again.
manager
I think
for
I did
you.
pretty good on that, actually.
Never again.
Oh, God.
Right now, the Miami Heat are only up by 1 here in Phoenix. 92-91, 2.5 left. What's going on with the Suns lately, man?
Isaiah Thomas.
Very good answer. Moving on.
I had more.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Okay.
No, he wants to be a starter, and it's not going to work. You got 3 point guards that want starter minutes.
Which we know you don't agree with them
Yeah,
having so many point guards, but
you had to know that was going to happen.
It'd be fine if you could get one of them to say, hey, you're going to be the sixth man and come off the bench, but they all want to be starters. You can't make Bledsoe it because he's got paid the most.
and you can't make Dragic it because
he's better than Isaiah Thomas is.
But you
scorer,
can't get upset for.
so-
I mean, you can't really get upset for someone want. I mean, it's no different than the outfield situation of the Dodgers. You have a bunch of people that you can't get upset for them wanting to be in the lineup every day.
Miami just hit back-to-back threes. They're up by 6 with 1:45 to go.
It's more management. I mean, why would you pick up 3 point? Well, basically have 3 point guards. I'm not a fan of the Bledsoe move. That was my opinion.
Well, you said that from the very beginning that you didn't think that was worth it.
I mean, he's a good player. I don't think he's legit. I don't think he's a guy who can be a key component in a big three. He may be like a Chris Bosh, a third part to that. But I still think you need 2 other guys who are really, really, really good. And I don't think you're going to get that here.
Speaking of Chris Bosh, he basically just fueled that lead. He hit a jumper, followed by a Dragic miss, followed by a Chris Bosh layup, followed by a Bledsoe turnover, followed by a Bosh 3. So not bad, man, not bad. And he's
Well, someone's got to be doing it over there in Miami.
Yeah, he's doing all right. Let's see what the stats look like for tonight. Bosh with 34 and 8. Wade with 13 and 5. Mick Roberts 10 and 4. Dang with 24. I think Dang's going to be the key if Miami goes anywhere this year.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, we did kind of just briefly touch on before we actually went on the air about. I mean, I know all my Lakers do is successfully they complete games. They don't win them, but they play 4 quarters. But how Magic was actually stating that he just wants them to lose and lose to get the best pick.
No, you're a
They are
Clippers
losing
fan
right now.
You're a Clippers fan, and they won last night.
Oh, did my Clippers win? I'm sorry, I don't follow them, so I guess I don't know.
The Lakers are losing right now.
They're only down by 9.
Newsflash.
What kind of fan are you?
It's
Yeah,
all right.
you're
You have
my
a
favorite
Blake
team.
Griffin jersey on under your shirt, so
Wow.
Do I?
Moving on. Rodman. Never mind. Rodman's in the news again.
Oh yeah, he was calling out
Derek Fisher.
yeah.
Carmelo. What an idiot. Go away. Go back to North Korea. Jesus, go away. I want to see that new movie with when they
The
go
interview?
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I did see the reviews.
That's a
on
good
that.
transition right there. It has to do with North Korea. As of right now, Miami's up 97-91 with a minute and a half left. San Antonio down by 8 at Utah with a minute left. Sacramento again beating the Lakers end of the first. Cleveland took out Toronto. Portland took out Detroit. Memphis took out Dallas. New Orleans took out New York. How's that new contract there, Carmelo? Love it. How's that? I'm never gonna get a ring taste. That's pretty good. OKC back to their winning ways. 114-101.
Did you see that
Shocker.
dunk that Westbrook had?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Good
was sick.
God.
Sick. Lakers GM says Kobe's going to retire next year.
probably if he's smart.
Yeah. But your boy Griffin had a nice buzzer beater.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I guess I'm gonna have to start following him. So when I get called on that, I'll have something to say.
There you go. All you got to do is just say Griffin.
No, he's got State Farm Insurance with what's his name?
I'm more of
the
a-
other Paul.
I'm more of a discount double check guy myself, but you know.
Ditka. Anyway, we're losing control of the show. NHL, any NHL stories?
Paul McLean, coach of the Senators, fired today.
Senators gone.
They're like 11-11, so it's not a big deal. Brizgalov signed with the Ducks, so
No,
that's cool.
yeah.
He's an interesting character. I like him. He's a pretty good goalie when he wants to be. The other one is, well, a couple others. Keith Ballard, my favorite player recently, is out again with a concussion. American player, so I like him.
Of course.
Varlamov, Avs goalie, is hurt, injured his groin. The big news is the expansion rumors. They're basically we talked a little on Saturday. They're committed to putting the franchise in Vegas and Seattle, expanding to 32 teams. They're estimating it's going to bring in about $380 million in expansion fees, which is a huge number that'll be split amongst the other owners. So big money there. And they did get the approval to basically go out and say, hey, if we were selling season tickets here in Las Vegas, would you be interested?
Well,
to get a perspective gauge on how many fans would be there.
Well, JD and I kind of were mentioning before everybody else got here how all the different distractions in Vegas could be an issue for. I mean, like let's say that you are in town, but I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, you know
I don't go to Vegas to watch hockey.
Right, but like say, what if you're going there, been like, oh, also this band, like Motley Crue's in for town, or Metallica's here, or some other big venues going in. There's always going to be something else that you can do and have twice as much fun at. Just as
Well, two things. One, it's going to be the only professional league in town, so that's going to draw fans.
It will.
Although I think you could probably draw as many, if not more, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for the same reason. But the other thing you're going to have is you're going to have a lot of people who are out of town. So not so much us, but somebody in New York is there for a bachelor's party and the Rangers are playing. They're probably going to go to that game. The tricky part's going to be to get Las Vegas Dice or whatever their team name is fans in the arena. You're always going to have.
Are they seriously naming them?
I don't know. I just made that up. What else are you going to name them? The Las Vegas Craps?
Well,
spades, man, the spades.
No, Aaron, did you see the whole deal about? I mean, it hasn't gotten a lot of talk, but I mean, it did get about 15 minutes on SportsCenter.
What they talked hockey on SportsCenter?
The 2-game suspension on the Jets defensive Evander. I'm not sure if you saw the video or anything, because I was looking. I mean, the only reason why I was bringing it up is a 2-game suspension on a boarding call, and
yeah, it's a little rough.
It's a clean smack. I mean, he does put his face implant on the glass, but just because it looked like he came up with a stick behind him, I didn't know if you had saw the film on that. So I just wanted to get your take on that if you saw it.
There's a lot of that. They're trying to crack down on it. I don't know if you ever can. It's a fast game. It's kind of like the NFL.
I was just gonna say,
where you can't hit the quarterback in the head. You can't hit him in the knees. You've got to hit him right in the middle, or else you're fined. It's kind of like the same thing. If some guy stumbles or he trips or something, it's always going to happen. The NHL does a really good job of breaking it down, and you can get the videos from player personnel where they do slow-mo and they're like, here's exactly why.
But see, I would have thought it would have been a fine as opposed to a suspension.
It's 2 games in an 82-game season. It's not a big deal. It was a vicious hit, but it's not a huge deal. There's been worse this year.
Oh, I mean, we saw some hits at the Kings game that I kind of thought were a little dirtier, but.
Well, the big thing is if a guy turns, you see the numbers and the name, you're supposed to stop. I mean, that's why they put the stop sign on the little kids' jerseys now. So some guys use it to their advantage, and they do that intentionally so they don't get laid out. But that's my problem with it is you see a lot of guys who use it as an advantage to kind of take advantage of the rule, so to speak. But I don't think it was that bad, but 2 games is very minor.
Well, that's what I was asking. Well, I want to hear your opinion on that.
Hey, Chara and Krejci are back for the Bruins. How big is that?
It's big. I mean, Chara is your captain, so he's older, but he still logs a lot of minutes, and he still's leadership there. The one that I saw too that was interesting to me is Paul Bissonnette signed tryout with the Kings.
Right.
I like Bissonnette. I don't know why he couldn't get any traction here. If it was just that, I don't think him and the coach Tippett got along for whatever reason. So that's the thing. The other big one here is the supposed Andrew Barroway deal to buy 51% is falling apart. I don't know if that's because of the expansion. He can get another team. Who knows? But that's the rumor. I haven't seen a lot of confirmed reports on it. That's just the whispers.
Right. WWE. Sunday.
They do that
This
on
Sunday is TLC.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Get out. No.
Okay. Well, I'm just making sure because I'm sure some of our listeners.
Tables, Letters, and Chairs match this Sunday.
Tables, letters, and chairs match.
Yeah, it's basically like an all-out extreme. They've been pushing it now for basically since the last Survivor Series, and they've been doing a pretty good job of it. Basically, every night somebody gets slammed through the table or something like that. But I still don't think it's going to be any as good as ones that we talked about before. Like if you've got the WWE Network, they had the 6-man tag or the 3 tag team match when it was like the Hardy Boys, the Edge and Christian, and who else am I thinking of? The Dudley Brothers.
Dudley Boys.
Whatever. Then I mean they brought in like the 25-foot tall ladder and crashed through tables at that point. That stuff was awesome. Again, yes, our listeners, we understand wrestling is fake, but it's entertainment. People still get hurt. The stunts are real. And if you think it's fake, go ahead and do it yourself. Sure,
and the tribute to the troops is coming out soon.
Well, USA is doing something all week next week.
Yeah.
Every night for WWE.
I think it was already filmed, but
yeah, I forgot what base that they filmed it at, though. Was it Fort Hood, Fort Bragg?
Fort Benning.
Fort Benning, Georgia. Outstanding.
Yeah.
All right. So I like watching that. That'll be Wednesday. That'll be aired on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday, right?
I think it's
next Wednesday.
I'm not sure. Usually they show it in place of a Raw right before Christmas.
Right.
So the guys can be off. So I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I didn't see a lot of specifics on it. I just saw the commercial.
Oh, I just saw that you posted that. There, Aaron.
Yeah, but as far as for the TLC, basically it's their one hardcore event since they don't do that stuff anymore.
Right.
So
I think they should, man. I think they should bring back the hardcore champion.
Yeah.
Who would be the hardcore champion?
I love the hardcore champion in the 24/7 rule. My favorite was the one where the guy knocked on the hotel door and like he just like opened the door and then the guy pinned him on the bed. It was hilarious and it's ridiculous all at once. The ref just follows them around. It's crazy.
That's awesome. They should though. They should bring back the hardcore champion.
Oh, Suns just lost.
Yeah, I already knew that.
103-97.
That's why they're not making the playoffs. Who's the greatest hardcore champion of all time? Who would you say is the greatest hardcore champion?
Real hardcore, or are we talking WWE hardcore?
No, I'll go into like ECW. What about like Taz?
ECW. Taz was good. He was a legit wrestler, though.
What about Tommy Dreamer?
Tommy Dreamer was great. He was a legitimate wrestler, though, too. I mean, he did make his money there.
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam was awesome. He did something that they need to do. He was a TV champ for like over a year.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that was nice.
He used to jump from one corner. Remember we put the chair?
He can still do it.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
That's awesome. Yeah, he was legit. I think the first hardcore champion was Mick Foley.
Oh yeah.
If I remember right. But if you're asking me the best hardcore, I'd go, well, if you're going really old school, Terry Funk, because he did a lot of barbed wire matches in Japan, which were crazy.
Right.
And the tables on fire stuff, which are nuts. But if you want to go ECW, you got to go New Jack. That dude was crazy. New Jack.
I do remember
nuts.
that guy. Oh yeah.
He got like, I think he got either jail time or like some sort of court something, misdemeanor, felony, I don't know, because he like took a staple gun to some security guard's head, and it was not in there. He just did it because he's nuts. So
Wow.
that guy was crazy.
Yeah. Thoughts on CM Punk going to UFC?
Joel, you're the UFC
Joel.
expert.
I mean, he has some skill.
Well, he doesn't have any sort of martial arts background behind him.
That's what I was saying.
He has no like mat wrestling.
His wife is hot.
His wife is hot.
Mm.
But I guess he is training at a gym,
So-
learning jujitsu.
I think
From
AJ
what I'm
Lee is
hearing.
hot. I'm sorry, man.
But how quick can you? I mean, yes, the guy's is a natural. He's got a
Exactly.
talent. But how quick all of a sudden you learn to jujitsu and feel like, you know what? I think I'm going to go
Right,
into the octagon
right.
with
Well,
somebody.
but you know
Well,
what? Though?
he's doing like-
He's been out of WWE now for about a little over a year now, hasn't he? So, I mean, who's to say he hasn't been in the
Right. Well, apparently that's already been, though he's already been working at it because
Yeah.
this has been a long process for the UFC and CM Punk getting signed. So apparently, because I had to go through a bunch of legal stuff.
Well,
Right.
that was part of the
But-
interview. He said is when he settled, he had to sign a non-compete with both TNA and UFC.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's why he couldn't announce anything previously.
Right. And I think
Didn't they say he's already got a match? Or
no.
he's already got an opponent?
Well, what they
stepping
said is they're going to match him up with somebody else at his skill level.
Yeah.
That's 0-0.
So, yeah, he's going to be looking. We're looking at probably prelims fight. You know, like a fight night or something.
up? Okay.
I'd
watch
They
mean,
wouldn't
you're
put
not-
that on prelims, though.
the-
Too much money to be made. He's
well,
gonna
if
be
it's
your
on a
opening
fight night, though, they're all on the same channel. So they probably will have them on prelims just to get them to tune in earlier to watch him
You
fight.
think? You think they
Yeah.
would do that versus putting him as the first fight on the card to get people to buy
Yeah,
the pay per
I
view?
do. I think they could bill it as because now they're billing prelim headliners now.
Or maybe a Fox Sports deal.
Yeah, like a Fox Sports 1 fight night type
Yeah.
deal. I mean, you're not going to. I mean, there's been other big name fighters like Michael Bisping has already called him out. Luke Rockhold's called him out. You know, you're looking at guys that have already called him out, and UFC's not going to throw him in there against a number 9 ranked fighter. You know, by any means. So you're looking at more like someone that maybe has a limited background of MMA right away. So
I think he does take things serious though, and like you said, I think he's been doing jiu-jitsu for a while.
yeah, and apparently he's hired a kickboxing coach too to work on
Probably
his
something
striking.
unique. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he did okay. I mean, yeah, if you threw him in with a legit guy who's been fighting for
Right.
5-10 years, he's going to get his rear kicked in just on knowledge.
Right. Yeah, but I think he'll do okay. And obviously he is 38. I think is what he said.
36, I think. Or
He's up there compared to the other fighters. So, and it all depends on how his body reacts too, as far as after him getting punched in the face 50 times, for real. So, seeing what happens there.
His wife's hot. Just throwing that out there.
I'd take Samurai.
She's too much of a ditz, man.
That's what I like.
Oh man, she's just too much of a ditz, man. I mean, even in like Total Divas, man, because in the ring they're supposed to act certain, but when the camera's actually following you around, like when you're in a restaurant, you act stupid stuff. I feel like I'm watching like Jessica Simpson, which by the way, Jessica Simpson has a much better body than Summer Rae does, especially in Dukes of Hazzard. I watched Dukes of Hazzard just for that moment when she
I
walks into the police
Agree
station.
100%.
So, but yeah, I think she's kind of cute. I loved it when they had them both in the ring when she first started doing her "I'm crazy" thing, and CM Punk says, I really dig crazy chicks." Well, you better say that. You're about to get married to her. So,
Well, the thing was with
who's the hottest diva of all time?
Stacy Keibler.
or Trish Stratus.
What about Tori Wilson?
She wasn't bad. She was kind of older though.
She was in Playboy.
I already saw it though.
Oh,
Family
damn,
show.
man.
Family show.
I mean, if you want to say it, go ahead and say
And
it.
of course, Aaron and I saw. Didn't you see when he walked in here?
So who's the
shoulders all
hottest-
relaxed and everything?
Who's the hottest one today? I mean, would you put the Bellas out there? Maybe Nikki Bella?
It's weird with the Bellas because you got small and large. But
Yeah. Well, but you know what the funny thing is the small one is with the smaller guy and the large one is with the larger guy.
just kind of defeats the point of twins.
Yeah. Well, hey, some are blessed more than the others. You know what I'm saying?
Well, with the divas, let's talk not that for a second.
What else is there to talk about when you
well,
talk about divas?
No, but Nikki Bella has actually impressed me. She's done a lot of in-ring work to become a really good wrestler in the ring. I don't know why she beat the tar out of AJ Lee in 2 seconds. That was kind of crap. At the last
that was symbolic to when AJ Lee cost Daniel Bryan the belt.
I don't know, man. It just like you build up AJ Lee as this great champion, and then you beat her in 10 seconds.
But that's what it was supposed to symbolize when she cost Daniel Bryan his belt against CM Punk when she kissed him and then turned around and Punk just nailed him, and that was the end. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Punk. It was what, Sheamus? Somebody. But he lost the belt just like that. And so that was supposed to be the payback.
Well, the whole point is you got to build a story and make a story last. And if you get a 10-second match and a squash match, it defeats the point.
Well, if I was ever in the ring with her, I'd last about 10 seconds.
What are you gonna do with the other 9?
Think about what I'm going to do the next time.
And Summer Rae's been working on her in-ring ability too. I think those are your two divas who are really legitimately trying to actually learn how to wrestle. She can wrestle. She's been doing this Tyson Kidd angle, which is kind of silly, and who cares? And Tyson Kidd's awful. I don't care about Tyson Kidd. He's ruining it. And the other one, they brought up Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte, last week.
Right.
Who I haven't seen a lot of her. I don't watch a ton of NXT. She's a champ. I'm assuming she can wrestle because her dad, but she's real long. She's like 5'10". She's tall.
Right then. So with that being said, I mean we're pretty much closing down. Final thoughts on the evening, Brent?
Just basically all I want to do is
why do we want to break? Do we have to? Let's go ahead and pay the bills one more again, and we'll be back.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Break a 19. How about that bandit you got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs host over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Like walking into a dream, someone like what you've seen, so what you
I have a meeting Thursday with the Phoenix Suns brass, so maybe I shouldn't be so harsh with them.
I'll be harsh with them.
You can be harsh with them. I'm not going to be harsh with
I
them.
hope your guy knows what he's doing. They brought over from the Celtics.
I'm a well-wisher.
You just want to go see the Celtics. That's all you want to do.
They already played here, I think. No, they don't play here until after the New Year. All right, so they already lost. No, they beat the Celtics by 2 in Boston. So, Brent, final thoughts. Echo.
No, I'm actually just looking forward to Sunday. There's a certain person I want to watch get flattened, have his
Jeez.
Yeah, no, he said final thoughts. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Manziel getting knocked out.
Why do you root for injuries? That's just cruel.
That's sweet. Joel, final thoughts.
Going first time ever UFC's coming here on Saturday. I'm going.
Nice.
And
You're
I
gonna be
am
in the studio on
pumped.
Saturday?
No, I will not be. I apologize
You
for
got
that.
how close? You got some good seats.
I do got really good seats, so it's
What time is
first row, level up. Early prelim start at 12:30.
Is that a
It's an
Fox
early
fight
fight.
or pay for
It's Fox.
Dude,
right?
We need to get a call in. We need you to call in.
I will call in.
Calling from the madness.
Outstanding. So Joel's going to call in with some of the results before they get posted online. How about that for an exclusive?
What time does it start?
12.
12:30.
12:30 starts the early prelims.
Wow.
Outstanding. All right. So we'll get some updates right around about 1:45, and we'll find out who
In fact, the
got
people
knocked
around
out.
you can be like, it's like, yes, this is Joel with JD's Rockin' Sports. Go ahead, I can't hear you. Like pretend like you're actually on on the scene interview.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Outstanding.
you got people.
Aaron, final thoughts.
It's not 100% Hoyer's fault. That's it.
Sunday will prove you.
It's not your fault, man.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault,
It's not
man.
your fault, man.
Oh, what
It's
is
not your fault, man.
Stop messing with me. Back up, Sean.
I don't know. There's not. Oh, the Cardinals Rams Thursday. They're gonna probably lose that game.
I'm taking the Cats.
Taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Cats.
Short week prime time. Cardinals don't do well in those.
I'm taking the Cards because I just picked up their running back to
Williams?
take you down.
Sherwin?
Williams. Taking Williams.
Kerwin?
Yeah. So see how he does.
Maybe you
He had a
should.
good
Maybe
game
you
last
should
week.
eat a Kerwich.
Whenever I hear
Before
that
the
name, I
game.
think of the Sherman Williams jingle.
But,
Sherman
Williams. Yeah.
JD, final thoughts.
Well, to start the show off, we talked a little
And
bit
we're out of
about,
time.
we're out of time when I say we're out of time. That's why it says JD's Rockin' Sports. No, before the show, we talked a little bit how people will use and can use the sports venue as a way to just kind of escape, reality for a little while, and I think that's a good thing. Whether you're going to watch a sporting event, whether you're going to go take in a concert, or whatever the case may be, go enjoy yourself for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Stop taking life so seriously because it can get a lot worse.
A lot quicker.
Very fast.
Yeah.
So, enjoy what you have, enjoy who you with, and yeah, man, have fun. All right. Stop sweating the small stuff. We will be back in studio Saturday live at 11:05. We'll talk to you later.